Namaskar, this is me, Sanya Raj, back again in this channel for you. Today, I'm getting a wonderful person, a great warrior in its true sense, Major General G.D. Bakshi. He is called Mr. Gagandeep Bakshi. He's fought many battles for this country, our India. He has authored 37 books. He is a combat veteran. He is motivational speaker, and he has written a new book, which is called, we're going to be talking about his new book, which is called Thunderstorm, the COVID Strikes. There he's talking about how, this Frankenstein virus, he's questioning, is this a global war? How China, with its malicious intent, has spread this virus for just becoming, the superpower, and how the importance of borders in the today's world of global economy. He's going to put everything in perspective. He's created a friction, but he's based on investigation and facts. He is a PhD in strategic management who understands the people's psychology, who understands the political systems and its, limitations, and how people are intending to use the lapses for their personal benefits. So Major General Bakshi today is going to share his journey on writing this book, The Thunderstorm, the COVID Strikes, which is a very important, I think, topic in today's times, in this pandemic times, to know what went wrong, how these occurrences, happen in this world, and why these occurrences happen. Hi, Arvind, hi. And it's like, so that is what I thought, that it was very important. We as warriors must understand what kind of warriorship these, he's a military man. He's seen deaths, he's seen life, he's seen people of different sorts. So to understand life from their perspective is going to be very interesting. He is a true warrior. He's a patriot, and he understands the importance of, systems, the political systems, how the power game is happening, not in internal but also external. So I thought that it was a very important topic to raise, because we people who are fighters, who are warriors, the SSRians must understand that warriorship of different levels, and fighting corona, understanding where this corona came, I thought was very, very important for us to actually come. So I hope that Mr. Bakshi is going to come as soon as possible, and I thought I'd hold this forum until he comes. And so I just yeah, Sanya Raj, kaisi hain aap? Yes, I'm fine, Arvind. I'm fine. And oh, you're from Punjab. Wow, what a nice, great thing. Yes, absolutely. So you're welcome that you're joining us. We're going to be talking with Major General Bakshi today on his new novel and what where the corona came from. He said that this Frankenstein virus, is this an announcement for a global war? Hi, Madhu. Hi. Yes, he does. He does. I agree with you, Madhu. He does speaks very well. I totally am with you. And so let's hope that he's going to come and, and he's a true patriot, because I believe that we all here are SSRians who are the warriors, who are the fighters. And I thought that if I come across with such a real-time fighter who's fought for our nation in different, areas, so it was my blessing that I could have him today. So let's hope that he's going to be joining us. He promised me that he's going to come. I just spoke to him, and he said that I'm going to. He's calling me. He's calling me. Let's hope. I'm just trying to call him. So I'm just trying to call him and then see if because he's trying to reach me. I don't know. He's trying to reach me, and I don't know what's. He's trying to call me. So let's hope that he can join me. I'm trying to call Mr. Bakshi because he's trying to call me, and let's see if he's able to join me. Let's hope. I am. I'm hoping that he's. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm trying to connect on your StreamYard. Somehow it's not getting through.
Okay, you've got my link, right?
Yeah, I got your link. I tried twice, but somehow there's some difficulty in connecting.
Oh, really? Because I'm on live right now, and
okay. Wait, I'm just trying again.
Okay. I think Mr. Bakshi is trying and he's unable to do it, Mitali. That's what I was talking to him. Thank you. Thank you so much, Deepaji. I really appreciate your comments. Hi, Premier. Hi. So good. I'm hoping he joins me because he's saying that he's coming, and he was getting some kind of. So let's hope. Let's hope he can join me because he's trying, he's saying. Hi, Premier. Okay, wonderful. You're joining from Sydney and Fiji. Wow, you're welcome. You're so welcome to join. And Mitali, I just want to let you know, hi, Nakul. So good to see you. So good to see you all. I'm so grateful that you're joining us. And I just hope that there is no issue with the technical with Mr. Major General Bakshi. He just told me that he's having some kind of a. I don't know how can I help him, because he I really don't know how can I help him, because I tried to send him whatever I could, and so let's hope. Yeah, he's the device not connected. I think his device is not connecting. Oh, what a pity. He's joining me, but okay, your device is not connecting, sir. I'm seeing him, it's such a hi. It's from hi, Asha. So nice. You're joining from Finland. Beautiful. Very nice. So glad that you're here. Very welcome. Mithali, I'm fine. Thank you so much. I hope you're fine too. So wonderful to talk to you. I'm seeing here Mr. Bakshi was live, but he's unable to join me. Oh, what a pity. He actually joined me earlier and it worked well. I'm saying, I'm hoping that he has joined me, but his device is not connected. So there's some kind of a technical hitch we have. It's such a pity that he's unable to join me, because I see that he's joining me, but his video is not getting on. And he's called me and he's told me that he's trying. And sometimes, these technical issues come, and I really apologize, and that these technical issues just come in like that. And I was looking forward for this interview with Mr. Major General Bakshi. but unfortunately, he's not able to join us. And I'm going to really try to call him up again and see if he can. It's such a pity, such a pity. Oh, so nice of you, Madhu. So kind of you that you can wait. I'm so grateful that you can wait. But I'm hoping that because he has joined, but it's saying that it's device not connected.
The person you.
So that's the problem. He's trying to call. He's trying to connect, but he's not able to connect. It's so sad. Oh, thank you, Premier. You, so kind of you. Now I see him.
Yeah.
Right, sir. So very welcome. Now he's joined
The
us.
only thing is, I don't know why it's coming ulta. Is it okay
No,
on your side?
no, it's like you'll have to just. I
I
think
don't know. How do we turn it upside down?
there is. If you have a, are you doing on a mobile? Yeah.
Mobile, yeah.
Now it's coming right. I can see.
Now it's coming right. Okay.
Yeah, but I can't see your face.
All right. 1 second.
No, you are not coming right. It's like on if there is a if you it's like this. I can show you. It's like this. And here you have to, if you see this, there is this button. There is this round button. You have to do it in the phone. It should be clicked.
A round button in
This
the
one,
phone.
the red one. This should be clicked, so it is red. If you have a iPhone, and if this is clicked, then you get the vertical. Because now you're horizontal. And this you can do it like, you have to just put down. Sorry, like this. You just screen down, and then you will get it.
Just screen down and I'll see that red button or something.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, exactly. There's a lock. You have to lock your phone so that your phone gets vertical.
Lock the phone so that it
Like,
gets, because I have a stand in front of me, so I have to put it there.
okay.
I don't know. We've never had this problem before. Are you on the other side of the world?
Yeah, I'm on that
I
side.
could have expected that for Australia.
Right now,
Down
it's
on
fine. Now you're fine. Now, if I can see your
Now
face,
I'm fine.
but I
Yeah.
can't. Now,
Yeah. Okay.
now,
Okay.
now you can see your face.
All right. All
But a
right.
bit better. But a bit better. I'm just removing. You've got two phones, I believe.
One phone, but okay. Now is it okay?
Now it's better. Definitely. Now it's fine. Great, sir.
All right. All right.
Fantastic. Lovely. So good to
Good.
see you, sir. I am so grateful to you that you're here, and there's so many people who are watching you now. And they said that we
All
will
right.
wait for Major General. So they were waiting for you.
I know.
Great, sir. Sir, I first of all want to congratulate you for your new venture. You've authored 37 books. You're a PhD holder. You're awesome, military man, and you have so many feathers in your shoulders. So I am so obliged and thankful that you take out time for us and a lot of other people who are looking forward to listening to you and your viewpoints on your book, The Thunderstorm, The COVID Strikes. So please let us know your journey on that. How did you begin to write?
You know, Thunder, Dragon, COVID, Strike. Beta मेरी book ला दो. Sorry, just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No.
Acha, Thunder Dragon COVID Strike is a book that takes its shape from a scenario generation wargaming exercise. This paints what if scenarios. What if COVID was not a natural epidemic, but it had originated in a lab and was accidentally or deliberately released from that lab to, afflict the whole world with that pandemic. So that was the result of this scenario generation wargaming exercise, this book, and make it more intelligible to the people. Uh,
Yeah. I think he has to come back again. And it is, this is the problem with the technicalities, and this is the way it goes. We all have to be more patient. The fact that he is wanting to talk about his book and coming, yesterday I remember when I spoke to him 2 days back, he was launching his book with and Mr. Dr. Subramaniam Swami has launched his book. So I'm so grateful that, yes sir.
Yes. So as I was saying, that wargaming is one of my special skills. And at the Staff College in India, at the National Defense College, we used to teach with the help of war games when two different teams oppose and play the enemy, and and they war game a scenario. So we have in this book war game the scenario that if the COVID-19 pandemic was a biological warfare strike, a biological warfare Pearl Harbor by China to weaken the rest of the world and to try and grab Taiwan and to make all the territorial gains that it wants against India, against Japan, against the South China Sea. Possibly this looks like that this was a preemptive biological warfare strike by China. So we did this scenario generation exercise. We wargamed it, and then in the Tom Clancy tradition, we came out with this book, which is a fictional scenario of how exactly this could have happened, and so that you put it across to the people in general. We had the choice of writing a very technical book, but which would have been read then only by the experts and domain field experts, etc., gone to some military library. But this way, we wanted the narrative to reach a much larger people. So without much ado, let me tell you about this book.
Yeah.
Now, the simple fact is that COVID has been a black swan event which has afflicted some 172 billion people globally. 4 billion people are dead. The global economy has taken a hit of about $2 trillion. It is a hit worse than the Great Depression, which preceded the Second World War. Entire industries, entire businesses, the tourism and travel industry, the hotel industry, they are all hit and out. They are kaput. So many millions of jobs have been lost globally. And like I said, 4 billion people have died all over the globe. Now, initially it was said, when this epidemic started in December 2019, officially the first patient zero was in Wuhan in China.
Yeah.
And he was declared on 8th of December 2019. Now, as you are aware, around that time, a little after that was the presidential election campaign had started in the United States.
Yeah.
Initially, Donald Trump insisted on calling it a Chinese virus, a Chinese initiated pandemic. But a whole lot of his political opponents, they got together and they said these are just conspiracy theories. They are not worth the paper they are being written on or talked about. Uh, then in February 2020,
Yeah.
the Lancet Medical Journal in the United States, that's the most prestigious medical journal.
Hmm.
27 scientists, microbiologists got together under Peter Daszak. Peter Daszak, incidentally, who is this Peter Daszak? Incidentally, he is the head of a CEO of the Eco Health Alliance.
Yes.
This is an NGO. Now, what is so famous about this NGO is that in the United States, gain of function research to soup up dangerous viruses and see how they could spread to humans, and then to discover their antidotes, their vaccines. This was being conducted in the United States by the DARPA, Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, right?
Yeah.
In 2014, President Obama decreed that all such research would be banned because this was creating dangerous Frankenstein viruses, and if they escaped, God forbid, from the lab, it would create the type of mayhem that this research was trying to avoid. So from 2014 to 2017, all such gain of function research was banned in the United States.
Yeah.
Right? That is the time Dr. Fauci, and we all know who Dr. Fauci is the head of the NIA, the National Health Agency, and the National NHA.
Hmm.
He gave $3.4 billion to Peter Daszak and his Eco Health Alliance to outsource this research to countries outside the United States. So, as part of this project, Peter Daszak gave, hold your breath, $6 lakh to the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China to carry on with this gain of function research. Right? He was in business dealing with the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Therefore, he had no bloody business to give a clean chit to the Wuhan Institute. Then the most amazing thing is that this year he went as part of a WHO team that went to China to investigate the origins of the COVID-19. You know, the Chinese treated that WHO thing like a joke. For 15 days, this team, with Peter Daszak included, was quarantined in their hotel in Wuhan. They weren't allowed to step out, right? And then after that, they were allowed to go in for 3 hours in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which by then had been vacuum cleaned, right? And then they were not allowed to see any of the records of the institute. They were not allowed to access the computer databases. They were not allowed to interview or interrogate any of the workers. They were not allowed access to the blood sample. They were not allowed access to the waste so that they could check whether this could have flown out of that Institute of Virology or not. It was a joke, and they duly complied with the Chinese, because you know how much Chinese money the Chinese have given to the World Health Organization and its boss, Tedros, right? So they also gave it a clean chit. And that Peter Daszak, who should have recused himself, was also a part of that whole conspiracy to give a clean chit to China.
mm,
Now the fact is, the presidential campaign in the United States is over. The dust has settled down. A lot of American senators have exercised the Freedom of Information Act to take access, to have access to government documents
mm,
of the National Institute of Health and Dr. Fauci's emails and all, as you are aware,
yeah.
have all been taken out and put in the open domain. And it now emerges that this seems to be a wonderful conspiracy of sorts.
Mm, mm,
Cha- the Chinese research at Wuhan Institute of Virology was actually funded and aided by the Americans.
mm,
Now, why were the Americans funding and aiding that? Because they were worried that nature might, create this virus before we could have antidotes for it. So to
mm,
preempt, the whole program was called preempt. To
mm,
preempt nature, to preempt any enemies
mm,
from creating such a dangerous virus in the lab. They
mm,
thought it is better to have it done and
mm,
to get our virus injection, vaccine,
mm,
medicine,
mm,
etc. all ready.
mm,
So they had funded the Wuhan
mm,
Institute of Virology.
mm,
Now the Chinese had their own plan.
mm,
They happily took the money,
mm,
but they used it to carry out biological warfare research. Now let
mm,
me explain how.
mm, mm, mm,
Oh, God.
mm. But we can continue talking, it'll stop.
All right. Some idiot is calling me at this
Mm,
stage.
mm,
Now, as I was saying that, as I was saying, that because of this, the Chinese have been doing biological warfare research,
yeah.
right?
Mm,
And the simple fact is that the Wuhan Institute of Virology is not headed by 2 trained doctors. It is headed by 2 Chinese major generals of the People's Liberation Army.
mm,
One being Dr. Major General Shi Zhengli. She is called the Batwoman of China, right?
mm,
She
mm,
is called the Batwoman of China,
mm,
and she specializes in research on bat coronaviruses. The
mm,
second one is Major General Chao Wei. He
mm.
is an expert on Ebola and MERS and the other diseases, viruses which had broken out in Africa,
Okay.
right?
Mm,
So there are 2 Chinese generals who are heading this institute.
mm,
And in 2015, this is very important to understand.
mm,
In 2015, they had done a study under a Air Force virologist called Zhu Dazan,
mm,
right? And
mm,
Zhu Dazan had headed a team of 18 microbiologists in
mm,
China,
mm,
and they had made presentations to the top Chinese leadership,
mm,
right? And
mm,
what had they said? Their first finding was that the SARS virus they felt, rightly or wrongly, was a genetically produced virus and it
mm,
had been used to target China. Now, please understand this carefully.
mm,
In the Chinese perception, they have been attacked by biological warfare weapons. Ergo sum, the Chinese are fully justified, they feel, in retaliating
mm,
in kind
mm,
with biological strikes.
mm,
So this shows you the justification in the Chinese mind for waging biological war.
mm,
Now
mm,
this study, which was presented to Xi Jinping and the top Chinese military leadership in the Central Military Commission, some 24 times, 24 times they went and they presented these findings to the Chinese Central Military Commission
mm,
and to Xi Jinping himself. It shows how much importance the Chinese leadership gave to biological warfare. Now, the study said that microbiological agents can be freeze dried to be preserved for long to be preserved for long periods of time, right? And then they can be taken to a target country as as part of frozen meat, as part of frozen meat to be aerosolized in the target country, and you can do it in a manner that just cannot be
I think his net is a bit of an issue. I hope.
You can do it in a manner that nobody can trace it back to you, right? Nobody can trace it back to you. And with this kind of a strike, you can cripple the medical services of a whole country. You can apart from killing people, have a very devastating psychological impact. You can have long-term impacts like ruining their economy, ruining the economy of that country. And you can then prevail without firing a shot. Please understand, you can then prevail without firing a shot. And this is what they call part of non-contact warfare. Now, let me go back in time a bit. In the year 2012, there is a disused copper mine in Yunnan province of China, about 550 kilometers from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. So they had sent some people to clean up, some workers to clean up that disused copper mine. There were lots of bat in the disused copper mine, and it was full of that bat excreta, right? And those people came back sick with a pneumonia, a new form of pneumonia, very similar to COVID-19. When their X-rays were done of their lungs, they found similar COVID patches. Like you see in COVID, dark gray, darkish patches in the X-ray.
Yeah.
So the movement, but this was not transferable from human to human. They had been infected by the bats, but it could not be transmitted from human to human. Major General Shi Zhengli, the Chinese bat woman, straight away sent a team to these mines, and she collected 280 bat coronavirus samples from there. Then she started the research on the gain of function virus in 2015 when Peter Daszak gave her the money, and she got help from the North Carolina University as part of medical research. She got that help. And Ralph Baric, one of the top scientists in the United States, he helped her in developing, grafting the SARS hook molecule, protein hook molecule, onto the backbone of the bat coronavirus. This lady had written papers on the net, which were published on the net, which said how the SARS hook molecule, please remember, the hook molecule is what attaches to you, to the human cell. Without that hook molecule, it cannot attach to a human cell. It cannot travel from human to human. The bat coronavirus, it is only confined to bats. Now, she spliced in the laboratory, she spliced that hook molecule of the SARS onto this bat coronavirus, and she produced the lethal COVID-19 virus. This was produced in 2015. And then they must have developed the vaccine. They must have developed the medicines, because in 2020 January, the Wuhan Institute of Virology filed a use patent for remdesivir against corona. Now, to file a use patent, you have to test it on patients for at least 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
That means the Chinese were very well aware of corona 3 to 4 months before December 2019 when it is supposed to have struck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, the simple fact is they released it first in Wuhan. Why in Wuhan? Because they already had the vaccine, they already had the medicine. And in 2019, they had made vaccination compulsory in China.
Okay.
That means before they started this virus, they had given the vaccine to their people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, the moment this thing started in Wuhan, this coronavirus, the Chinese army, People's Liberation Army, was sent there to quarantine Wuhan strictly. Not one Chinese was allowed to go to Beijing, to Shanghai, which are close by cities. And it never spread from Wuhan to Beijing, which is just 1,000 kilometers, and to Shanghai, which is just 800 kilometers. But, and this is a very important but, Sanya, a very important but. And that but is that from December 2019 till March 2020, for 3 months plus, they allowed the flights to take off from Wuhan, 25 flights a day from Wuhan to the United States, 20 flights a day to Europe, flights to Japan, flights to India. They did not stop that. The question is why? When you knew it was such a serious virus, which you had made yourself in your own lab. Now, whether it released accidentally or it released naturally or, or by design, it was made to be released. Beta, ye band kar do, ye AC. Otherwise, whether they released it by design or by accident, I will come to that later. But the fact is, it was made in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It was deliberately released in Wuhan to make it look like an accident or to make it that it had come out from the Wuhan wet market and sickened the whole world. Sickened the whole world. Now, Sanya, I put it to you that in India alone, we have 3 crore people infected and 3.5 lakh people are dead. Who is responsible? Who is responsible? We can't let it pass that China is too strong. We can do nothing to China. Therefore, China can keep doing this.
No.
My next question. How is it that this virus originated in Wuhan, but there have been no mutations in China? The mutations are only in India, in the United Kingdom, in Brazil and in other countries, South Africa. And generally these are in countries which are hostile to China.
Yes.
How is it that there was no mutation in China itself, where it started? Where it started? Then my next question is, if it came to India, we had the first wave which was mild. Because the virus which had come to India from Wuhan was the Wuhan virus was milder. But the virus they had sent to the United States and to Europe was far more lethal. 6 lakh people are dead in the United States. 4 lakhs are dead in Brazil. So many lakhs are dead in Europe. So the fact of the matter is that the initial virus which came to India, the first wave, was mild. It was spreading very rapidly, but it was not killing people at that rate. Then we have a second wave. And in that second wave, which is far more lethal, this wave happens only in India, in South Asia. It doesn't happen in Pakistan, it doesn't happen in Bangladesh, not in Sri Lanka, but only in India. right? This is the amazing part.
Mm.
This shows that it is deliberately being spread to India as
Exactly.
a biological warfare, because China had decided to almost come to blows with India in Ladakh.
Ladakh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Almost come to blows with India in Ladakh.
Yeah.
Now the now there is another very interesting aspect of it. And
Mm.
sorry,
No problem, sir. Mm.
there is another very interesting aspect.
Mm.
8th of December is the first patient zero, as per the Chinese.
Mm.
As per the CIA, the first 3 patients had happened in October or November.
Mm.
The first 3 patients had happened much earlier than December. But
Mm.
even if we go by the date of December,
Mm.
8th of December is the first patient.
Mm.
8th of December is the first patient. And 28th of December, China starts. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of sneezes. 28th of December, China starts a series of military exercises against Taiwan, against South China Sea countries, against Taiwan, against the South China Sea countries, against Japan, and then in March, April, against India.
Mm.
This is the most, intriguing aspect. When a country is facing a pandemic,
Mm.
does it at the same time start military operations against all its neighbors
Mm.
all over the world, against Japan, against Taiwan, against Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, India? Do you start wars or planning for wars or military campaigns against all your neighbors at the same time as you say you are the victim of a natural pandemic?
Mm.
How can the two events coincide?
Yeah.
Why did the Chinese military, unless it was aware that this pandemic had been spread to weaken the world with this virus and then to exploit it militarily? That
Mm.
is the real problem.
Right.
So, the initial theory was that it is a natural epidemic.
Mm.
It is a zoonotic epidemic which
Mm.
has come out from the Wuhan Institute of Virology,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
This was what was spread by the scientific community in America.
Mm. Yeah.
Now, the fact is, this zoonotic theory, this natural epidemic theory, is full of holes.
Yes.
Sanya, the fact of the matter is that this has come from bats.
Mm.
No bats are sold in the Wuhan wet market.
Mm.
Please understand.
Mm.
No bats are sold in the Wuhan wet market. The
Mm.
nearest the bats are found is 550 kilometers away in the caves of Yunnan
Mm.
and Nanjing.
Mm.
Okay. They had been brought from there to the Wuhan Institute of Virology, to that laboratory
Mm.
where they were deliberately engineering on the bat coronavirus the SARS hook molecule.
Mm.
And then they had released it to the world,
Mm.
right? Initially, actually the French had helped China make this laboratory, but then they cut out the French. Then the Americans were helping them with knowledge and with advice. Then they cut out the Americans, and then they used the same virus against the Americans,
Mm.
against the French, against the Europeans, against the Indians,
Mm.
against the Japanese and the people of Southeast Asia.
Mm.
Like I said, 172 million citizens have been infected,
Mm.
and so many more, 4 billion have died globally.
Right.
Who is going to be responsible?
Exactly.
Can we do nothing to China? If we don't stop China,
Mm.
right? If I don't deter somebody who's attacking me,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
If I don't hold your hands if you're attacking me,
Mm.
then you will keep doing so. There's
Yes.
nothing to stop you.
Mm.
There is nothing to stop you. So the world has to deter China because China has got not only the bad coronavirus, not only COVID-19 virus, but 1,200 dangerous viruses stored in the laboratory in Wuhan. And
Mm.
are we just going to wait for them to just keep infecting us with one virus, next virus, next virus? We've
Mm.
had one wave, then we had the dangerous second wave. We are
Mm.
expecting a third wave in India. Then there will be a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, a 10th, a 100th wave.
Mm.
And do you know that China has started a virology lab in Pakistan, which is being run by the Pakistani military?
Mm.
Now they will start waging terrorist war against India by using the viruses.
Mm.
China is doing it, Pakistan will do it. Where will it end? Where will it all end? That is what I ask you.
Mm.
How long will this go on? क्या आप जानते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे 2 साल से स्कूल नहीं गए,
Yes.
रुइन कर दिए उनके एकेडमिक कैरियर, रुइन कर दी बिजनेसेस, रुइन कर दी जॉब्स,
Yeah.
बेचारे बच्चे अनाथ हो गए, माँ बाप मर गए दोनों, ना माँ ना बाप, बच्चे अनाथ है, कौन पालेगा उनको?
Exactly.
Somebody has to put a stop to this nonsense.
Right.
We have to put a stop to this nonsense.
Yes.
We
So
have to hold China responsible.
exactly.
And now you see, I am not just saying this, I am saying a top scientist of the world, Nicholas Wade, he has written a paper in the Atomic Bulletin of Scientists, clearly saying how this is a man-made virus.
Yeah.
A British scientist, a Norwegian scientist have proven that वो जो hook molecule है, उसमें there are 4 positively charged amino acids. Now, Sanya, are you a science student uh,
I
are you a
understand.
science student?
Yes. Yes. I've done business and
Yeah.
science. Yes.
So
Yeah.
what I was trying to say was that even a basic high school student knows
Yeah.
that positive charges repel,
Yes. Of course.
right?
Yeah.
So you can't have 2 or more positively charged molecules next to one another in a row unless somebody has put them deliberately.
Yes.
Have you understood?
Yeah.
So on this virus, there is not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 positively charged amino acids in a row,
Mm.
clearly indicating that this is a lab-made virus.
Mm.
And that laboratory is Wuhan in China.
Mm.
That is from where it is spread.
Mm.
Now, so the whole world is now quite clear,
Mm.
even with the basic knowledge that is in the open domain, that this is a man-made virus
Mm.
that has perhaps, it is being said now, accidentally leaked out from
Yeah.
the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Mm.
But my theory is different.
Mm.
In the Second World War, listen to this carefully.
Yeah.
You know how the war started? Germany had a border post in Dresden on the borders of Poland.
Mm.
They dressed their own soldiers
Mm.
in the uniform of the Polish army,
Mm.
attacked their own post,
Mm.
and used that as an excuse to attack Poland,
Mm.
1939.
Mm.
So the Second World War started with a staged incident,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Japan attacked China in the Second World War.
Mm.
You know where it had started?
Mm.
In a place called Mukden in Manchuria. There was a Japanese post there.
Mm.
The Japanese dressed their own soldiers in the uniform of the Chinese,
Mm.
attacked that post,
Mm.
and used it as an excuse to invade Japan.
Mhm.
I'm giving you history because I am a student of military. So my thesis is it is not a accidental release of the virus in Wuhan. It is a staged accident.
It is.
ये तो साहब एक्सीडेंट का ड्रामा किया गया पूरी दुनिया को बीमार कर. अगर वाकई में एक्सीडेंट होता तो क्या वो फ्लाइट्स अलाउ करते? वुहान से न्यूयॉर्क 25 फ्लाइट्स अ डे, वुहान से यूरोप, वुहान से न्यू दिल्ली, वुहान से टोक्यो. एंड मार्च 2020 तक 3 महीने आफ्टर इट स्टार्टेड the Chinese foreign minister Chen Yi was requesting the bordering countries not to close their borders. क्यों साहब? आपको क्लियरली पता था कि आपने क्या किया है. You were just trying to ensure that it spread. Anybody who gave information of this, any Chinese doctor, he was made sick with this virus and killed. Others were imprisoned. Is it deliberate conspiracy? So what I'm saying is that this is not just an accidental release. President Joe Biden has given 90 days to the CIA and the other intelligence agencies to find out whether it was a natural virus or it was an accidental release. I think they will have to add a third contingency. Was it a deliberately staged accident? Was it an act of biological war? Right? That is what my book explores.
Great.
That is what my book has set out to do.
So you had mentioned
to make it easier for the common public.
In the Northeast
Sorry?
also they have, you have mentioned that in the Northeast of India, they have some kind of laboratory who they were checking. Have I understood correctly? You had mentioned somewhere.
Yes. You see, the fact is that the Chinese and more so the Americans, there are lots of bats in Nagaland. The Tata Fundamental Institute of Research had been given the task of collecting their bat corona samples. This was being done in India. It was being done globally. You see, because the aim was to target the whole globe so that China emerges as the global superpower without firing a shot. You see, let me please explain. The Chinese army that hit you in 62 was combat hardened. They have been fighting non-stop 30 years in the Chinese Civil War. Then they fought the Americans in Korea for 3 years. Then they fought in Tibet for 8 years. So when they hit you, they were hardened. The People's Liberation Army of today has not fought a war for the last 42 years. And the last war they fought with Vietnam, they lost badly. Right? You are aware, Sanya, that all the Chinese soldiers come from single child families.
Yes.
They are called princemen. अगर आपका एक ही बच्चा हो, कितने लाड प्यार से, नाजों से आप उसे पालेंगे.
जी.
राइट?
जी.
और प्रिंसलिंग बोलते हैं ऐसे बच्चे. ऐसे बच्चे फौज में नहीं भेजे जाते.
जी.
अब चाइना के पास और कोई है ही नहीं, तो उनको ये बच्चे फौज में लेने पड़ रहे हैं. वो 4 साल की कंपल्सरी मिलिट्री सर्विस के लिए जबरदस्ती लेते. तो ये जो बच्चे जो फौज में आए हैं, ये मरना नहीं चाहते, ना उनके माँ बाप चाहते हैं कि वो मरे. तो वो बस अपना टाइम पूरा करते हैं 4 साल और किसी तरह घर के बुद्धू घर को आए. वो कहते हैं ना, जान बची सो लाखों पाए, घर के बुद्धू घर को आए. ये फौज चीन की लड़ेगी नहीं. तो इसका मतलब है कि क्या वो बायोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर से लड़े? वो पूरी दुनिया को मारेंगे बायोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर से? 3 लाख भारतीय नागरिक मारे जा चुके. कौन जवाबदार? 40 लाख पूरी दुनिया में लोग मारे जाते हैं। कौन जवाब? हु इज आंसर? Can't we? How will we put a stop to this?
Exactly.
Unless you take China to task,
Yes.
unless you raise costs and consequences for China, unless the world gets together, put economic sanctions on China, military pressure on China. Donald Trump has asked for $10 trillion as as penal deduction from China, so that the China cost will have to pay the cost of all this.
Right.
You know.
सर ये जो
So
Chinese है, सर आई वांट टू ब्रेक यू, ये चाइनीज है जो हमारे पूरे जो नेबर कंट्रीज हैं उनको भी ये कवर कर रहे हैं। आपका मैंने सुना था, सो यू वर मेंशनिंग दैट दे आर गोइंग, दे हैव ऑलमोस्ट बॉट ओवर वन लैंड इन पाकिस्तान, जो उन्होंने थोड़ा छोटा चाइना बना लिया वहां पर, जहां पर ये सारा काम।
बिल्कुल ग्वादर। देखिए, चाइना विद इट्स पॉलिसी ऑफ इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर्स and Belt and Road Initiative has taken over a port city of Hambantota in Sri Lanka. और कोलंबो का पोर्ट भी पकड़ लिया है, उधार दो। और जैसे हमारे करते थे वो मारवाड़ी लोग और ये लोग करते थे पहले जमाने में, ये जो मनी लेंडर्स होते थे, ये तो खुद चूस लेते थे, एनस्लेव कर देते थे। इसी तरह चाइना इज टुडे एनस्लेव कर रहा है। चाइना वो श्रीलंका को, पाकिस्तान में ग्वादर पोर्ट पकड़ लिया है, म्यांमार में जो उसका एक पोर्ट है उसको पकड़ लिया है, और इस तरह वो चारों तरफ लोगों को अपने कर्जे में डुबो के वो उनके जमीन हथियारा, उनके जो इंपॉर्टेंट पोर्ट्स हैं, हंगवी पोर्ट म्यांमार, हम्बनतोता पोर्ट श्रीलंका, ग्वादर पोर्ट चाइना, और इस तरह अफ्रीका के कई देशों में वो तो अपने हथकंडे फैला रहा, भारत को घेरने की कोशिश कर रहा।
और ऊपर उसने लद्दाख लेने की कोशिश करी, हमारा हिस्सा लेने की लेनी।
हाँ, देखिए, उसने लद्दाख को लेने की कोशिश करी थी, लेकिन उल्टे बांस बरेली को पड़ गए। वो ब्लडी नोज मिला। जब गालवान में झड़प हुई तो हमारे 20 शहीद हुए, उसके 65 शहीद, कई लोग तो कह रहे हैं 100 से ज्यादा शहीद, और वो हिल गया। तभी उसने ये साजिश रची है कि यार ऐसे तो मैं लड़ नहीं सकता सीधे सीधे आमने सामने, मैन टू मैन, मर्दाना युद्ध कर नहीं सकता, तो बायोलॉजिकल वॉरफेयर खेला जाए, बीमार कर दिया जाए भारतवर्ष को, इकोनॉमी तबाह कर दी जाए बगैर लड़े। नहीं साहब, ये नहीं चल सकता। वी विल हैव टू डू समथिंग अबाउट इट, द वर्ल्ड विल हैव टू गेट टुगेदर। और ये कहना कि नहीं जी हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, गलत। देखिए, चाइना ने और पूरा जो जमीन छीनने की कोशिश करी, जो कि आइलैंड है साउथ चाइना सी, फिलीपींस उनको इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस दे गया, राइट। एंड वो इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस ने फैसला चीन के बरखिलाफ दिया कि चीन का कोई अधिकार नहीं बनता साउथ चाइना सी। चीन ने मानने से साफ इनकार कर दिया कि हम नहीं मानते इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस, इस जो इंटरनेशनल ट्राइब्यूनल को हम नजरअंदाज करते। लेकिन हुआ क्या, आज साउथ चाइना सी में 4 अमेरिकन एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर बैटल ग्रुप है, जापान का ग्रुप, भारत का ग्रुप भी गया था, फ्रांस का ग्रुप गया, और अभी इंग्लैंड का जो क्वीन एलिजाबेथ का कैरियर बैटल ग्रुप है वो वहां जा रहा है। यानी चीन को कीमत तो देनी पड़ी।
बिल्कुल।
तो चीन को प्रेशराइज किया जा सकता है। जो हमारी चेन्स है ट्रेड की, उनको तोड़ा जा सकता है, चीन पे सैंक्शंस लगाई जा सकती है, जब तक कि वो हर्जाना पे ना करे। $10 ट्रिलियन प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप ने कहा। एक अमेरिकन लॉयर बाय नेम मेजर जनरल शी जेंग ली और चेन वेई को अमेरिकन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ले गया है कि ये $20 ट्रिलियन का हर्जाना भरे। कि इन्होंने दुनिया भर को बीमार बाय नेम। तो हमको अगर हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे तो चीन को तो प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा, ये तो बड़ा अच्छा तरीका है। बगैर अपने कोई बंदे मरवाए लोगों को मारे जाओ, विदाउट अ शॉट बीइंग फायर्ड, लोगों को घुटने टिका दो। तो ये तो फिर बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा सहना। एक वेव सह ली, 2 वेव सह ली, अब क्या ये चलता जाएगा? सिर्फ 1200 वायरसेस संभाल के रखी है चीन ने अपनी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ वायरोलॉजी से। क्या हर साल 1-2 छोड़ता रहे? दैट इज द की क्वेश्चन। इसके लिए मैंने ये किताब दी है और मेरी लोगों से अपील है कि ये नॉलेज वर्ल्ड न्यू दिल्ली ने इसको निकाला है, अमेजोन पे ये अवेलेबल है, आप ये इसको पढ़ें, खूब शेयर करें ताकि जागृति आए और लोगों को अवेयरनेस हो कि क्या हो क्या रहा है, क्या साजिश की जा रही है आपके बरखिलाफ, कौन आपके बच्चों को मारता है, कौन आपके माँ बाप को मारता है, आपके अंकल आंटी बूढ़ों को कौन मारता है, किसने आपके बच्चों को स्कूल के बाहर रखा, किसने आपकी बिजनेस तबाह की, किसने आपको करोड़ों का नुकसान पहुंचाया, करोड़ों क्या खरबों डॉलर का नुकसान पहुंचा। अब कोई अंत नहीं होगा, अंत करना पड़े।
Bilkul. So you have investigated a lot for writing in this book. There's a lot of factual investigation you've done for writing all this thing, although you've chosen to do it fictionally because you wanted the layman to come across.
Understand.
Yeah, exactly. Right, sir. So
that's very right. You know, the format we have wanted to adopt. You know, Tom Clancy has a op center where he researches, serious research is done in these real life problems. So we have done serious research. We have war gamed as to how it could have happened, which part of the PLA could have done what role. We have studied Chinese military literature. You know, you would be surprised. The official military doctrine of the People's Liberation Army of China is called the Science of Military Strategy. In 2017, the latest edition of the Science of Military Strategy had added a new chapter on biological warfare, on weaponizing the virus. Now, like all the countries of the world, China has signed the convention banning biological warfare. How then can they, in their official military doctrine, have a chapter on biological warfare? This is illegal. And they are not only openly talking of it, they have made these weapons as far back as in 2015. And in 2019, 2020, they have used it. They are still using it. They are still spreading new variants of this virus. Viruses mutate down. They don't mutate up. Natural virus. But if it is a lab-made virus, you tweak it, and in a bit of frozen meat, you send that virus, freeze that virus, send it to India, send it to the Dharavi slum, वो गर्मी में automatically unfreeze होके aerosolize हो जाएगा, and it will वहाँ पे start within a matter of weeks, infect lakhs and lakhs of people,
right?
As it has done already. 3 crore people in India infected, 3 lakh से ज़्यादा dead. Globally, 172 million people infected, 4 billion people dead, 40 lakh people have died.
So one person from Australia is asking you that, do you think that these, these are communist, Chinese are communists, they don't care about lives. So what is it? Because of their communist belief, they don't believe in, they're just dying and they don't believe in, anything. So what do you have to say of that? So he says they don't care about the death and, life because of the communist belief they have. What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely right. The Chinese communist regime is a brutal regime. In the time of Mao, in the so-called Great Leap Forward, 30 million Chinese had died of starvation because of the stupid policy of taking away workers from the fields and putting them to work at backyard blast furnaces. 30 million Chinese had died. They didn't give a damn. Cultural revolution, millions of Chinese had died. They didn't give a damn. You know what Hitler, you know what Stalin did to his own people in the Siberian prisoner of war camps, the concentration camps of Siberia.
Mm.
Millions and millions of people have been killed by communist regimes. And the Chinese communist regimes is one of the worst in terms of human rights record. They don't care for the lives of their own people, and they care even less for the lives of people in other countries.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they can be allowed to get away with it.
Yeah.
The rest of us haven't turned communist as yet.
Yeah.
And we'll be damned if we let them, ram communism down our throats and
Yes.
on our dead bodies.
I'm with you. I'm with you, sir. Sir, I am so grateful that you shared this really eligible story, which is so valid in the today's world of the pandemic we are living in. And this is so, and I really urge each one of them who's listening to you today to go and grab the book from Amazon, as you said, and read about and get aware about what's happening around the world and who is our real enemy. And, we have to protect ourselves and we have to support the system of democracy and not this sort of a communistic approach where they do everything in secrecy and they stage things in terror. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your story.
Thank
you so much.
you so much. Thank you so much, Sanya. I'm I'm very grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to reach out to audiences across the globe and to warn them of the danger that they are facing, and that they are not facing a God-made, a man-made, not a God-driven virus, but a man-made virus, very deliberately unleashed by a ruthless communist regime which doesn't care for the lives of people, which is contemptuous of the right of people to freedom, to liberty, to equality, and to things like that, which strangulates its own population. And now it is trying to kill people all over the globe and derail the global economy so that it can prevail without firing a shot. I hope to God that we will all rise and stop this murderous assault on humanity, this genocide of humanity.
So
Thank you all for this patient listening.
Before we leave, I want to just say that the atrocities of what they've done to Tibetans, we have our example, Dalai Lama. He sieged with India, but what have they done? This is their track record, and as you said, they are the people who are doing a lot bad for the countries, and they want in the name of grabbing the power, becoming the sole power of the world, and we must stop it. So thank you so much for coming and putting out this on the agenda list for people, because people have lots to think, but this is something urgently, we have to act urgently here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanya. God bless you. God bless all your listeners. May God be with you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Bye-bye. Jai Hind. Jai Hind. So this was Major General Bakshi, who actually allowed us to see how the situation is. And we are all warriors, SSRians, warriors. And that's why I thought it was so relevant for us to take this topic. He's written a wonderful book. I have grabbed this book. I bought that book from Amazon today. And I would want each one of you to read that book, get aware of, because he's done all the investigation. He's a military man. He understands the system. He knows what's going on. This is a staged COVID to the world. Millions of people have died. Millions are affected. Our homes are affected. We must get aware. We must understand what's going on around us so that we can protect us, we can protect our loved ones, and we follow the right information so that we can act right. So thank you so much, my dear friends, for joining me today. And I'm going to be back again in the evening, 10 o'clock Indian time, and 16:30 GMT time. So I'm going to catch you guys again. Namaskar and Jai Hind.